There's been a Spoon Man talking about Actman's proposal of debating people about wokeness in gaming, and I find it to throw my 2 cents in there. Because the Spoon Man makes some fair points, he makes some retarded points, but it's just the discussion that's really the most important part, and just correcting him a little bit.
Actman threw this up on the Twitter. If any YouTubers want to have a discussion and/or debate with me on wokeness in video games, feel free to DM me or reply to the stream.
Actman has the right to debate people about wokeness in gaming since his victory with Andy Pants Gaming the retard. But I understand that Spoon Man doesn't believe he's a political content creator because he isn't. And I can see that because he believes they don't have any political knowledge, such as not reading books like Mein Kampf or The Dictator's Handbook or any philosophical book. But he still is allowed to make this debate because this is the marketplace of ideas, and he can't really stop anyone from doing this.
I'm still very interested in this subject, and I love talking about all facets of gaming, politics included. And recently, Actman had a debate about this with someone named Andy Pants Gaming. Now, it should be obvious, I am not a fan of Actman. I think he's a shady bastard with no integrity.
I do not like Andy Pants Gaming. I think Andy is a shady bastard with no integrity based on the fact that there have been videos documenting him and his lies, such as Gamertron Show, where he exposed Andy's Xbox channel, where he said some woke things in video and in the community tab, and after that video came out, he privated everything. Or the British Runner, who made a documentary on Andy exposing his lies. But at the same time, Spoon Man doesn't not care about creators' integrities for reasons such as maybe they say gamer words or some other thing, so this information is probably useless to him.
However, much like the Joker, I'm a man of my word, I am fair, far more than most people on this platform. And he won the debate handily, mainly because Andy can't debate himself out of a paper bag. So why am I bringing this up? Because a whole bunch of people tagged me in this thread and told me to debate him.
Andy only lost that debate is because he was trying to get gotchas over an actual discussion. Plus, the aftermath of that debate destroyed him more because he privated it and age restricted it so people can less see it. And when Actman posted the debate on his channel, he got copyright strike by Andy. And it led to a shitstorm of people reporting this.
No dice, and I will tell you why. And in the process, hopefully annoy absolutely everyone. If you watch the debate, you can attest to this. Andy did the stupid thing where he simply assumed stating the obvious would make Actman see the error of his ways, as if he just wasn't privy to what the hell's been going on in the gaming media for the last 10 years. Not like he's a gaming YouTuber with over 1 million followers, but anyway. You could really see the split in political insight when Az went on the pronoun rant.
It was Andy's fault in the first place for the fact that he made a video calling out Actman for being woke, and that game reviewers were not tackling wokeness in gaming when they never really need to do that. And the issue was that he was being a fence-sitter, even though his content isn't political at all. And this kind of led to this debate and his stupidity from it.
Those who weren't morons who could see that cancer was inevitably going to spread versus the leftist plebs who just needed time to get used to swallowing crap and call you some sort of bigot if you didn't chow down and drown along with the horde of beaten peasants. And that's the sort of semi-permanent vibe of the sphere. You have one side whose entire bread and butter is just yelling about the culture war stuff day in, day out. And I'll be honest with all of you, I find that stuff incredibly tedious and boring. It's like content crack. There's nothing new there. There's nothing interesting. It's the same thing over and over again. It's slop. I can occasionally engage, but to diet on it constantly just makes me depressed because I'm not learning anything. Then on the other side, you have a gradient of people ranging from liking that bollocks to it's not a big deal to pretending it doesn't exist. And these two sides are yelling at each other constantly. One side screams bigots and the other one screams cringe and gay. And that's it. There's nothing more to the stupid cultural bollocks than that. And once you see this pointless play is forever stuck in this gear, then you'll realize there's no point in engaging with anyone with regards to this kind of stuff. This is why people talk about each other and not to each other.
I will agree with Spoon Man on this one because A, politics in general is always arguing and never really talking to each other, but also I disagree with him on the Starfield pronoun thing. It doesn't really affect much of gameplay, besides maybe what your character's called and whatever. It doesn't affect who you are, it doesn't have fucking stats based on your gender or whatever. It's really just pointless. Also, most of both sides just spew out slop from each other that most of the time it feels like a nothing burger on the woke side or anti-woke side.
It's basically showing that we have two sides of society that have nothing in common anymore, and both will think the other one is a threat to their way of life. Both sides will accuse the other one of being in a cult. Although, let's be real, only one side is in a cult. The one side wants to be left alone, and the other side are a bunch of attention-seeking twats who consider being left alone tantamount to some form of hate crime. Ackman is...
No, both sides are a cult. The difference is that the woke side is a collective cult, and the anti-woke side are individuals, with the creators being the figureheads of that cult, which creates echo chambers on both sides.
Point. And so I posted this. Thank goodness it's one of the most liked tweets on that thread, second only to V's one because I wanted him to see it. Picture of the character creation screen. Explain this. Because if Iron Bull looked like this in Inquisition 10 years ago, man, I still can't believe Inquisition is 10 years old, I'm getting old, and the Arashock like this in 13 years ago, what the hell do you call this metrosexual abomination? You know what his reply was? Oh, buddy, I'm not the art director. What a disingenuous twat. You're not a political theorist either, mate, so what exactly is your qualification for trying to do a debate discussing politics in games? Do tell. I didn't realize you needed to be an art director to notice the current Kanara looks like a California college student moonwalking through fucking Chernobyl.
This Guck here is being a retard this time because Ackman said he wasn't the art director. It's not like Ackman made the decisions, and I get it that the horns are ugly, but Spoonman here is just being a spurging schizo homosexual right now.
This is why so many people despise his guts, by the way, and the comments on the post show as much. Because when reality is staring at you dead in the face, you're asking to debate politics in games, someone shows you the effects of politics in games, and your only reply is, I'm not the art director? And then to add further insult to injury, he posts this, claiming to be sick of gaming content creators who invade the space only to prop up political agendas. It's a form of gaslighting. People want to throw a monkey wrench at your head or drop an anvil on you like it's an Acme cartoon.
To conclude this, I will agree with Spoonman on one thing, which is there are more people smarter than Actman that can criticize him pretty well, and maybe this debate is actually really stupid of him to do, but he could pick and choose more retarded people for easy W's.